your boundaries. Girl, you hit too close to the edge now. Only thing they got is toxicity. Think you need a cleanse, feel it out. You got the facts, but they ain't got yours. You've done enough, but they still want more. You've been a good friend down to the core. Oh, hold up, baby, don't take it. It ain't friendship if they just fake it. You don't need to put up with their bullshit. Tell them no, 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 no. Hold up, baby, don't stress it. It ain't worth it, you won't miss it. You don't need to put up with their bullshit. Tell them no, 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 no. Girl, it's time you put yourself first. Go and get the love you deserve. Stop guys screaming out the word. No, 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 no. Don't let anyone put you down. Stand up straight and hold your head high. Stop by saying it out loud. No, 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 no. Yeah. Tell 'em no, 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 no. Yeah. Tell 'em no, 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 no. Hold up, baby, don't take it. It ain't friendship if they just fake it. You don't need to put up with their bullshit. Tell 'em no, 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 no. Hold up, baby, don't stress.
Hello,
It ain't worth it, you won't miss it. You don't need to put up with their
hello,
bullshit.
everybody.
Tell 'em no, 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 no. Hold up, baby, don't take it. It ain't friendship if they just fake it. You don't need to put up with their bullshit. Tell 'em no, 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 no. Hold up, baby, don't stress it. It ain't worth it, you won't miss it. You don't need to put up with their bullshit. Tell 'em no, 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 no. Tell 'em no, 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 no.
Hello, everybody. I just came on kind of late tonight. It's not normal for me to be on here this late. I see I got a few people here. Hey, Diva. Hey, Nark. And I don't know if that's me looking at myself from the bush or not, but if it is, hey, Erica. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna continue this live. We got a few people here, but I was just, thinking about red flags, how sometimes we don't notice our red flags. And after we, get into whatever relationship, all of a sudden we try to figure out how in the world did I get here and how in the world can I get out of this? And then I just started thinking how I ran across some information about complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And I was looking at some of the symptoms. I'm like, wow, maybe I have some issues with that from the trauma that I went through. Um, and I'm just recognizing I didn't just have one narcissistic relationship, but I actually had two. Um, and so I just pulled up real quick. It was on my mind to go ahead and see if I want to talk about it. Any of y'all familiar with well, maybe I shouldn't have said we're gonna talk about red flags because I don't know, I'm kind of geared towards this complex post-traumatic stress disorder thing. Because I have a lot of those symptoms, didn't even realize it. First of all, complex complex post-traumatic stress disorder is a mental health condition that could develop if you experience chronic long-term trauma. Now, post-traumatic stress disorder is something like short term, like maybe if you were in a war, if you had a a car accident or, you know, something happened and it was, real quick or whatever. It wasn't a long-term event. And looking at some of the responses you can have, the stress responses, anxiety, flashbacks or nightmares, avoiding situations, places, and other things related to the traumatic event, a heightened emotional response, such as impulsivity and aggressiveness, persistent difficulties in sustaining relationships. And then some of the examples that can cause complex post traumatic stress disorder is long term child physical or um, SA, long term DV, domestic violence, being a victim of human or um, sex trafficking, war, frequent community violence. And I just thought about how when I'm around people, a person can walk behind me. I have what you call, what is this thing right here? Um, this is not the one I'm looking for. I'm easily startled, like out of nowhere. Everything can be calm, cool, and relaxed. You can come walk up to me and just speak to me, hello, and I'm jumping. Like you just literally hid in the bushes and tried to frighten me. And flashbacks. I constantly have flashbacks. And of course I have anxiety. Um, avoiding situations, places, or things related to that event. I purposely make sure I do not go to those neighborhood stores or wherever I went when I was going through those situations because I don't want to run across anybody or anything that has anything to do with that point in time in my life. And I realize I can't hide from it all the time, but that's what I do. I stay away from it. Um, now I experienced a narcissistic abuse, and I guess that's what caused me to have the CPTSD. And I was told before that I probably suffer from that, but I really didn't pay much attention until I started doing some research. Um, it says that you can have chronic or extensive issues with regulating your emotions. I'm guilty of that. I mean, I'm just realizing this is why therapy is actually sometimes it's needed when you go through situations like this. Now, have I had formal therapy? No. But it's making me question, I don't know, maybe I should. Um, because it's almost like I'm bipolar sometimes. I can be one way 1 minute or 1 second and another way. Hey Marissa, hey Lakin, how y'all doing? Um, so then it says you also have identity and you have issues with identity and sense of self. I don't think I have that problem. And it says you can have extensive issues with relationships. I don't know about relationships yet because I have yet to enter into another relationship as the other one was just too much and I'm just not ready to go there yet. Just not ready for it. Um, but it was just very interesting to see that you can actually have something that goes beyond the regular PTSD, the complex. It can result from experiencing chronic trauma, prolonged childhood abuse. It's closely related to borderline personality disorder, flashbacks, nightmares, avoiding situations or places related to that event, anxiety, heightened emotional responses, such as impulsivity or aggressiveness. Wow, it's amazing the things that happen after you experience traumatic events. And sometimes you don't even realize you're going through it until you actually take time to read. The core symptoms, you're hyper aware of any danger. I hate to say it, but it's almost like what I'm getting from that is like you kind of look for it. It's like you just constantly looking for something that could cause you harm. And I'm guilty of that. I'm constantly looking, if I feel like it's gonna cause me harm, I avoid it. Um, just not realizing that how much until I'm reading this. Simple as that. Avoiding trauma triggers, things that trigger the trauma. Yes, I will avoid conversation. As far as social media, I avoid any commentary that can trigger me. And it can be the smallest things, the smallest things. But if it's something that reminds me, I just get away from it. No harm to the person who's giving the commentary, but it's like a automatic reflex for me, a protective thing I do for myself so I can protect myself mentally. Um, and of course, I keep saying flashbacks over and over again because I still suffer with flashbacks. I mean, I can be washing the dishes and I just think about something that happened way back in 2013 or 2011. Like it's something that I can't control. Do I want to keep thinking about things? No, but I do. It doesn't affect me to the point where it causes me to, I don't know, do something drastic or have a you know serious response. But the point is, I mean, I can be driving in the car and I see a street sign and think about something. So the flashbacks are real. Mm. Now it says that some people can have feelings of shame or guilt. Now I don't have feelings of guilt. Sometimes I don't know if I have shame or not. Sometimes I think I do, but it's not because of me as much as it is from thinking about what he did to me or what they did to me and how other people looked at me during that time. So I don't know whether to consider that current or not. And it says you can have trouble staying in relationships. I Once again, I don't know if I have trouble with it. I don't have trouble having like normal relationships, like with family or friends or coworkers. I have not gotten into that eros relationship again, the relationship between male and female or significant other. I haven't done it yet. I'm treading lightly with that because when you go through that type of situation, you just don't want to deal with it again. So you kind of look for those red flags and everything so that you don't, you know, end up back in that same position. Wow, this is just very, very interesting. I bet you a lot of us go through this stuff and we didn't even realize what it was. It says that you can have detachment from people, events, environmental triggers of the trauma, excessive attention to the possibility of danger, that's the hypervigilance, um, frequent negative thoughts and emotions. I don't have the frequent negative thoughts. Um, I try to, if I do think negative, I refocus. But it's a wall you put up. It's a um, defense mechanism that you have. I don't know whether to associate that with negative thoughts or emotions. I just know that I do have a wall up there. Whoever comes into my life, if God sends them to me, it's going to be kind of hard because that wall I put up is kind of tall now. It's real thick and it's kind of tall at this point because I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to go through it again. And once again, I read what causes it: prolonged domestic violence, childhood or sexual physical abuse, torture, genocide, slavery. Slavery. Imagine, wow. So that means probably people who experience slavery or those things that happen in these foreign countries where they just go off killing or unaliving, people because they belong to a certain tribe or whatever. Um, these people suffer with this. It can change your brain's chemistry or structure. Um, it can cause permanent changes. Mark says exactly due to the trauma, hypervigilance is to be expected. That's right, exactly. Yes, it is. Um, Now I'm going to pronounce a new word, y'all. It's the first time I've seen this word, and I'm gonna pronounce it to the best of my ability. Amyg Amygdala. It's spelled Amygdala. It's the part of your brain that processes fear and other emotions. This is what changes it can make to key areas of your brain, this traumatic stress. And then you got the hippocampus, the part of your brain that's largely responsible for learning memory, and the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that's involved in executive functions such as planning, decision making, personality expression, and controlling social behavior. So this thing goes further than just our action. It can actually change the chemistry in your brain. Um, yes, no, that's how you spell it. Um, this is why when I talk about it, or you hear other people who've been through these traumatic things, this is why we talk about prayer, how uh, necessary it is, because you're talking about something that comes from a spirit that's in people, and it can affect the devil, the evil tries to affect the chemistry in your brain. So you have to stay in a constant state of prayer. And I do find myself when I get in feeling these types of ways, I will start to pray because remember I said a weeks ago or months ago that I'm happy to still have my mind intact from what I went through. This right here explains to me what is trying to attack in my physical body, my brain, portions of my brain. And wow, this confirms to me why, I'm very thankful for still having the ability to have my mind. These types of situations, the enemy means to get in there and take away who you are as a person. Um, Try to take away your faith and your belief. They try to basically turn you into nothing. Um, so I don't know how many of us have gone through that or if we even realized we were going through it. But I can see how it can happen to us. I mean, for us who've been through any type of trauma, those types of trauma that I called out. Um, and then we wonder why we behave the way we behave or why we react to things the way we react. It's nothing that's done intentionally. It's literally effects of what we've been through. And it's just the way we cope or deal with it. Um, it's I don't even know how. I'm just still kind of absorbing the fact. And I heard a CP. TSD before, but I never really read about it, and I never really realized how much that may be a part of my um, situation that I have going on now. And it's all from those. Just imagine if I had ignored or paid attention to those red flags. All of us, even red flags without, we when we think of red flags, we think of them like with um erotic relationship, with your girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, or whoever. We don't think about the fact that there are red flags with it can be red flags with anybody, family, friends, neighbors, co-workers. Um, Imagine if we pay attention to them, we could avoid going through these types of issues with traumatic stress disorders, whether it's complex. Some of it we can't, some things in life we can't avoid it. But this is why those red flags are significant, paying attention to them, to try not to get to this place. But it's so easily to be confused and tricked by people who have ulterior motives because we don't see it coming, especially us who are empaths, who we basically have pure intentions with everything we do. We don't think about like hurting people or what can we get from a person. We think about what can we do for a person or um, how can we help them. We're not built on trickery or manipulation. And so we trust more and then we end up in situations that could have mentally took us out of here. Mentally. Um, Marissa says, I was diagnosed with that because of past trauma. Mark says, me too. PTSD due to DV in the past. Trauma has long lasting effects, in my opinion. It does. Um, like I was just saying a few minutes ago, I still think about it. And I've been out of it for 3 years now. And I still think about it. Sometimes it feels like it was yesterday. Now, like I said, I snap out of it quick, but I think about it like it was yesterday. Um, Marissa says, wow, Ed Mark, sorry, not a good feeling. I'll go from 0 to 100 real quick. Right. Me too. Marissa, you hear me sometimes talk about how I spaz out and I have to bring myself, I have to come back to myself because I find myself spazzing out. And then I think about it, and I'm like, oh, hold up. Did I just do all of that? Did I just say all of that? And I have to go to the person and apologize. But like I said, it's that defense mechanism there. If you come at me wrong or in a way that feels offensive to me, I have to be honest. I will attack, not because I'm trying to attack, but it's like, don't play me. Don't try to go there. You won't do it, you know. Um, yes, we all getting better. Absolutely, I have no chill, but only to those who try me. Right. That's what I mean when I say what I just said. If I feel like you trying me, I'm gonna spaz out on you. And it come from nowhere because everybody say I had this like mellow personality, you know, cool, calm, collected, loving, or whatever you want to call it. But try me and I'm gonna spaz out on you real quick to the point where, like I say, I have to apologize and um I have to pray and ask for forgiveness, and I have to repent because I go. So I'm listening now in the chat. It's okay, Diva. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's why my tail in trouble. Girl, we learn from everything we go through. I mean, I'm still learning, you know. None of us are perfect. And none of us have the ability to we can control a lot, but some things, sometimes we react. I mean, it is what it is. That's life, you know. But if we could recognize those red flags with toxic people, we could avoid a whole lot of this stuff. I'm gonna read off a little bit of these red flags, like constantly arguing with people. If you're in a relationship and you arguing, sometimes it starts in the beginning, sometimes it doesn't. These toxic people can not. Did you just say you be wanting to hear me trip out? Cause it's rare since I'm quiet. You know what? I hope you never hear it. I hope I always am able to maintain my composure on these streets. Because I do think if I go off, I think people will be talking about it probably forever. But anyway, I was talking about how constantly arguing in a relationship, how it's just not normal. Like I said, sometimes they're quiet in the beginning and you don't realize what running into. But if you find yourself constantly arguing or having to defend yourself, or you know, if you find yourself constantly arguing, then you may be on number two. That's toxic, or that's a red flag. You when you find yourself walking on eggshells because you don't know how you're going to affect the person. You just don't know how this person is going to react. What they're going to do, how they're going to react to something you say, or so you walking on eggshells. That's kind of a part two to a person arguing with you all the time. You don't want to be around somebody arguing and fussing all the time. I mean, that will put you on eggshells because that's not what you're trying to do. Um, it's I mean, it's a lot of red flags. I mean, we could talk about red flags all day and all night. We know that toxic equals, or red flag is if you find yourself being criticized a lot. And they might not do it in the beginning. Sometimes they may, and it's subtle how they do it. Like they may say, um, I don't know, you put on a dress or whatever, and you looking good and everything. Well, you looking good, but why you got your hair that way? It's criticism. But it's not direct criticism, so you won't look at it as criticism. You won't realize this person is criticizing you until they directly do it. Like say, I don't know why you wear your hair like that because it look crazy. It's just different things with these red flags. And isolating you. We talked about that isolation from your friends and family. That's a red flag. And they can start that in the beginning. You know, they can start it in the beginning. Let me see what they're saying in this chat. Give me just a minute. Marissa, LOL, at knock. I'd be like, yeah. Then she apologized for it. And now she has a hidden thug inside of her. Marissa, yes. I'd be like, oh, shh, here it comes. And she'd be like, no, it's okay. I'd be like, man, come on now. Y'all tripping. Y'all really want to see me go off. Guess what? It ain't gonna happen. Okay. Um, I was talking about the isolation. Um, if somebody's isolating you, or you feel like they're trying to isolate you, they don't want you to go with your friends today, or they want, they don't want you to go with your family, or they find some reason for you not to do something you plan. That's the beginning of isolation. That's a red flag. Um, if they don't take responsibility for something, like we always talk about accountability. Um, if they cannot accept accountability in the beginning, or even if it's not in the beginning, when you first see them not being accountable, that's a red flag. It means that they'll never hold themselves accountable, and you will always be blamed for everything at that point. If they financially abuse you, I mean, I have to admit, I was financially abused. Um, I was a stay-at-home mom. And who doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mom? Who doesn't want somebody to take care of them? Guess what? 9 times out of 10, If this person is, hold on for a minute, y'all. My phone ringing. Hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. But if a person is financially controlling you, that's abuse. You can find yourself set back for years because you don't you just get stuck. Like for instance, at 50 years old, I felt like I was an 18-year-old starting off my life because of being financially abused. So it's a reality. Um, and lying, that's a red flag. If you constantly catch somebody in lies, I don't care how small it is, a lie is a lie. And if somebody starts off lying, that is a red flag. See, we got to stop ignoring this stuff because then that's how we end up in these toxic relationships. And then we end up with the PSTD or PTSD or whatever it is. Sometimes I transpose those letters, but red flags are important. It's very important to pay attention to. I didn't. I learned, and now I know what to look for. And we come out here, um, all of us come out here to try to help and educate so that if you haven't been in that situation or you are, you can see what it is before you get into it. Or if you're in it, you know what to look for so you can try to get out of it. Um, Let me go back to this chat real quick. Hit soft. Yeah, that's why you in trouble, Marissa. Oh Lord. Narc at Narc, the crazy part, my good side was coaching me not to hit hard, but go quick, LOL. My ex would get mad when I worked because he wanted to control me with money. That's what I'm talking about. So I had one who I was at home. And like I said, somebody might think, well, sure, I wish I did have a man to take care of me, and I didn't have to pay a bill. And look, I didn't know, I didn't pay anything. Okay, let me tell y'all, I didn't pay anything. Now I'm talking about a different relationship than the one y'all normally hear me talk. I paid nothing. If you asked me how much the mortgage was, I couldn't tell you. I didn't pay it. I didn't know. I didn't pay car insurance. I didn't pay. Um. I didn't go get gas. So I was like 100% dependent. That is not. It sounds nice, but it's not good. I do not recommend that. If you do have a person who wants to take care of you, make sure you get your own so you can survive if it does not work out. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna work out. Who in life is gonna allow somebody to control them forever? Nobody. Eventually, you're gonna get out of it. So you just have to set yourself up so you can be ready to move when you need to move. I made that mistake. You know, and I just try to help people not to get in the same situation. Um, Addiction. If you know somebody that's addicted to something, that's a huge red flag. That is something that we should absolutely never ignore. And I must say, I did. I ignored an addiction. Um, Addiction can lead to a whole lot of other stuff. To me, it's beyond toxic. You getting involved with somebody who's going to eventually steal from you. They constantly lie to you. If they get themselves together, you always risk a relapse. You can't trust anything the person says. If they say something and you believe it, you'll find out that it's going to be a broken promise. It's just the addiction. Run, turn around and run. Just run, just leave if you can. The controlling thing. We talked about the financial abuse. That's under the bracket of control. I was blinded. I couldn't see that I was being controlled. It was, I thought I was being just taken care of. I didn't realize I was being controlled. But um, most definitely, if somebody's controlling you, that's definitely toxic. That's definitely a red flag. Definitely, no question. And you know what? Besides addiction and control, if you're dealing with somebody that put their hands on you, they take their hands and put it on you. I don't care if it's a push or a pull. That push and pull can turn into something far more drastic. I mean, I can't say just run away from it because sometimes you've already fallen for this person, but try your best to get away. Somebody's putting their hands on you, try to go get away because if they put their hands on you, that means they're capable of putting something else on you besides that hand, and they're capable of pulling out some iron and taking you out of this world. So yeah, that's serious. Try your best to run away. And some people don't put their hands on you until you've really gotten deep into it, and then that's when they show you, hey, I'm gonna touch you, and at that point it may be hard to leave because you don't fall in love with this person. I talk about the trauma bond. That's a part of it. You can't figure out how to get away from it. Nog says some of these men try to use the word of God to control you. That's right. That's what I call a religious narcissist. Somebody who uses scripture, try to get on the same level you are as far as with your Christianity or whatever religion you have. It's a disguise, it's a mask, you know. And the scripture regarding how a man is supposed to take care of household, my ex tried to use that on me when I wasn't wise. So, oh yeah, they'll tell you that. Yes, man is head of the house. I'm supposed to take care of you. In Genesis, when Adam ate that apple, he at that point said that the man would have to labor to take care of his family, and that the woman would basically be a homemaker. I'm not reading the word, I'm paraphrasing, but they will try to use that against you. So you're supposed to be submissive to me, or whatever you want to call it. Um, yeah, you know what? It's a fine line because I do believe that there are some men who really go by those principles and they're not really trying to control you. But I think maybe the vast majority use that to try to maintain control. So that right there, that's a tricky one right there. You just got to kind of really have a strong spirit of discernment to, you know, um, decipher whether it's sincere or whether it is uh, deceit, something that's a part of control, you know. So those are just a few, but a lot of red flags. And, when we experience these things, I wish I would have had somebody to talk to me and tell me, even though I could feel things weren't right. And that's also another red flag. If you have a feeling, if your gut is telling you something's not right, that's another red flag, another reason for you to move on or to try your best to get out of it. And the reason why I keep saying try your best is because um being a survivor of a toxic relationship, it's not easy to leave these relationships. I don't care what anybody says. Why don't you leave? It's not easy. It's a lot of factors, whether it's financial, whether it's fear, um, whether, like I said, it's the trauma bond, whether you have the trauma bond, like I said, is when you become addicted to this person. You know, it's a lot of reasons why people don't leave. That's why I don't say leave because I can't tell you to do that because I thought I could leave and I told you it was hard. One of the hardest things I ever did in my life, even though everything told me to go. Um, I feel like I feel like a man can be the head of the household without dictating the wife. Exactly. That is when it crosses over into toxicity or control, is when they try to dictate your life according to that. When they're using the word at that point as a weapon, you know, when they dictate to you, you know, what's his name? My goodness, Hitler. He was a dictator, and you see what he did to his whole country, right? So if somebody's dictating to you, it is not out of care or concern. It's totally toxic. It's nothing that you should, feel like, oh, that's cute. He's telling me what to do because he cares. No, he's telling you what to do because he's probably insecure and he wants to control you. It's nothing positive about that at all. Um, Knox says just leave. No, it don't work like that, especially if it's not safe. Quite exactly. That's what I mean. Some people, you know, most of the time when these people putting their hands on you, sometimes they threaten your life, Um, and some of these people mean what they say. And that's all I'm gonna say about that because we got somebody coming on whenever they, get a chance and they're gonna delve into that real deep. That's not my topic tonight. But don't take for granted that somebody can just leave a relationship. It's a whole lot to it, whole lot more than meets the eye. Marissa said, right. They will even blame you for why life is not going right. Yes, you'll be blamed for everything. Everything. My gosh. Everything. I don't care what it is. If that shoe didn't fit, it was because you bought the wrong size. They went and got the shoe, but you bought it. Now, of course, I'm just saying that because that's not a real scenario. But who knows? It could be for somebody, you know. So at the end of the day, we need to, try our best to pay attention to these red flags. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about this complex post-traumatic stress disorder. That's deep. It's deep because if we could avoid these whole types of relationships, if we can, we can't predict who everybody is because one thing about it, a narcissist is one of the greatest actors you'll find on this earth. So many layers to DBS it is. So many layers. Um, that's why you can't look at it from face value. It's a lot more, to it than just what you see. Um, these people are masterminds with your verbally. I mean, they get into your head. If that's what people could understand, imagine if somebody's in your head and also putting our hands on you. That's you can't get no deeper than that. You really can't. Yes, please do. What is please do? I don't know. Oh, please do. You talking about this complex um Marissa, something is really wrong with you, girl. And you are correct. You said they got the best Dino. You are correct. You want to know why? Because that's also a form of manipulation. And they know if they can get you in the bedroom, they can get into your head. Simple as that. They can get into your head. They can control you easier when think about it. When you in love with somebody, on lust, when that when they when they getting it in like that, you let a lot of things slip because it's good to you. These people actually study. They read books and look at, TV shows or whatever they can to find out how they can please you. I used to think the guy was just so into me. He was really concerned about me getting mine. Yeah, it was feeding his ego. My reactions from the act was feeding his ego. That's why they had the best. They study and they work and they work. They want to get your reaction. They want to get that supply that I talk about sometimes. These people don't care about it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Everything. Let me see. Um, they will break your freaking back. Yes, they will break your back. They break every bone in your body if they could. We're not gonna go there, okay? Y'all trying to get me out of my box. Okay, I ain't coming on my box. I don't care if it is after midnight. Okay. And the best tool in the oh Lord. Knock, you were seeing I was seeing the future. Mm, what they have ugly eggs. I just got yelled at because I'm oh, you laughing hard. It's the truth though, man. These people are something else, you know. But you know what, y'all? I appreciate y'all coming on. I was actually surprised so many people came on, but that was on my heart to talk about this some of these red flags and this complex post traumatic stress disorder. Um, maybe one day we can do a panel about it. This complex post traumatic stress disorder. Um, that thing right there can really affect your life. I was wondering why, and people laugh at me so hard because, like I said, they can just walk to me softly and say my name, and I'm jumping. You know, always jumping. My starter reflex is crazy. I mean, I didn't realize it was a part of that, but not mine look like a dinosaur. Oh Jesus! No, don't go, Erica. Marissa not a dinosaur. Child, you know I got to go. I'm up late and I gotta go to work in the morning, y'all. My ex look like oh my god. y'all y'all tripping now. Oh, Lord. Yeah, but you're right though, man. They that's that sex is it's out of this world. So maybe that's another red flag, y'all. It's not written right here, but maybe that's another red flag. If somebody can go there with you and take you into outer space with it, take you out of this world. Some people say how you speaking in tongue. Maybe that's a red flag. You know, shucks. It might have been the best I ever had in my life, to be honest with you. But did y'all know? I don't know if y'all know this, but when I was studying, did you know that they say that narcissists don't kiss? They don't kiss you. Um, have y'all ever experienced a person who you were with who didn't like give you intimate kisses? They might give you pecks a lot, but they didn't really give you intimate kisses. Let me tell y'all what I read about that. Um, the reason why is it's one of the most vulnerable things you can do with a person. Number one, you face to face with that person. Number two, when you kiss a person, do you don't y'all? I mean, everybody feel it. I'm just saying this emotionally, how connected you get when you kiss a person. You can just kiss a person forever. I mean, if it's the right person, you can just kiss, 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 kiss. They don't like for their emotions to be revealed, so they won't give you these kisses. That's what I found out when I was researching. They don't like to kiss you. They will in the beginning, and some of them do kiss. I mean, but a lot of them don't. They don't kiss you. They will not give you an intimate kiss because it drops, or it exposes their emotions, which they try to hide. They don't want you to know, the most vulnerable and, you know weakest part of themselves. They gotta maintain their strength. You know. And I said, no, he kissed everything. I ain't say they don't kiss you now. Shoot. Listen, let me tell you something. I ain't even going there because y'all trying to get me struck. And ain't nobody even trying to strike me. Y'all trying to get YouTube. I ain't talking about that on this YouTube. Yes, no, kiss like it's a bad grocery. Yeah, they do. When they kiss, they kiss. They do. Yeah. Once you figure them jokers out, it's something else. Y'all tripping. Nah, I ain't gonna get struck. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, y'all. But I tell you, I had a real good time with y'all tonight. But I'm getting ready to get off this live, and we're gonna look forward to talking about this DV and how serious it is. That's for another day and another time, and that's gonna be with another content creator, somebody that's gonna give us a lot of valuable information. Erica, groceries mean you know what? Marissa, go to sleep. Go to bed. You acting up now. Go to bed. Marissa, terrible. Well, y'all, I'm gonna get ready to log off, and we're gonna come back again, and we're gonna have some talks. And I'm trying to be a little more consistent. I work so much, so I get it in when I can get it in. But thank all of y'all for joining. And we'll go ahead and talk next time. I'm sitting here looking at the chat. My bad. I know y'all heard me keep being silent. I'm looking at this chat. Looking at this chat. Looking at this chat. Good night, y'all. Bye. Y'all see me show myself. All right, y'all. Good night.
ISO. Indies. Yeah. Live free, speak your piece. Stay humble in these streets, yeah. In these streets. Let's go. Playground parks with the trees and the cars. Brownstone buildings with the kids on the porch. Murals Murals on the walls for the ones that we lost. Bodegas on the corner, let me see what's in store. Subway stations with the maps in the cars. Summer cookouts, uncle got the sandals on. Statue of Liberty, we holding up the torch. If they ask where I'm from, tell them this is New York.
We from the home of the biggie, people blowing they ciggies. And these girls going wild cause they flashing they this litty. Watch your steps cause these blocks be. We grew up on that bad boy in 96 with Diddy. Take a walk, come with me. Let me show you what really go down. Fiends on the corner, every hood got a deli or crowns. Cops pull us over, it don't matter if you black or you brown. City never sleeps, this the place that where hip hop was found.
Playground parks with the trees and the cars. Brownstone buildings with the kids on the porch. Murals on the walls for the ones that we lost. Bodegas on the corner, let me see what's in store. Subway stations with the maps in the cars. Summer cookouts, uncle got the sandals on. Statue of Liberty, we holding up the torch. If they ask where I'm from, tell them this is New York. I look around as I'm viewing the city. Skyscrapers and bridges, bright lights, fast life, Manhattan living. Cross over downtown, welcome to the concrete. The Nets to Barclays, the Mets to Yankees. Ubers and yellow taxis. And while I'm fitted with some butters, we heard savvy when tight jeans was baggy. From JFK to LaGuardia, city that never sleeps, insomnia. Home of Junior Mafia, word. Playground parks with the trees and the cars. Brownstone buildings with the kids on the porch. Murals on the walls for the ones that we lost. Bodegas on the corner, let me see what's in store. Subway stations with the maps in the cars. Summer cookouts, uncle got the sandals on. Statue of Liberty, we holding up the torch. If they ask where I'm from, tell them this is New York. Brooklyn, Brooklyn, BK all day, BK all day, we go hard. Brooklyn, Brooklyn, BK all day, BK all day, we go hard.
Yeah. Let peace, stress free, let it be. God got a bigger plan for you and me. Let peace, stress free, and let it be. God got a bigger plan for you and me. Let peace, stress free, and let it be. God got a bigger plan for you and me.
ISO Wendy's, where y'all from?